So our next guest has been in the insurance business for more than 25 years.
In fact, her late father was an insurance icon who wrote many best-selling books, including The Wonderful Wizard and You. Please welcome Lori Beth Friedman.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Eraldo.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
So why do you think there's such trepidation in discussing insurance? Because I have friends that have come to me and they say, my husband wants life insurance and I think he's trying to kill me.
Oh, I hope not.
That's actually a great question. One of the main reasons I think so many people have difficulty discussing this topic is because in order to discuss life insurance, it involves discussing you dying.
Right.
Yes.
So we joke about it like your friend saying he wants to off me, but the reality is, unless somebody knows something that I don't know, it's
don't wanna
not a
think
matter of
about
are
that.
we going to die?
Right.
We're going to die.
Yes.
So it's a matter of when, and let's be prepared for it versus if.
Right.
One of the things I try to tell people is if you take the word dying out of that conversation, it's very important that you sit down as a family and discuss if something does happen to you tonight,
forbid, right?
what do you want to have happen? How should I do things? Who should I call?
You have to have that discussion.
So
That's
if
right.
you take the word dying out of that conversation, for example, when my father was very sick, and knock on wood, he had plenty of insurance, he believed what he did for a living,
Right.
but when it was time for him to actually be dying, even though he did this for a living, it still would be like, okay, Dad, well, you know, when this happens, and he would shut down. So when I said, Dad, if you get hit by a bus tonight, what do I do? And it completely relaxed him and changed the conversation. So try to depersonalize it a little bit.
Right.
And even if you can joke about it, but you have to have those
Have the
conversations.
conversation.
So
Okay.
what are some big misconceptions about insurance?
Well, there's quite a few.
I would imagine, right?
You know, you hear a lot, I don't believe in life insurance. Well, the last time I checked, it's not a religion.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I don't need insurance. I can't afford insurance.
Yeah, who should be
I
buying
can do
insurance?
better investing my own money.
Yeah.
The reality is that I've never met anybody in the 26 years I've been doing this, as well as the 20 other years that I've been born into this, where when a death did occur and somebody handed a check to somebody, they never said, I don't really want it, you keep it, or that's too much, I don't need that much money.
Like, how much should I get? Okay, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
So, I mean,
Bad joke.
there's a lot of misconceptions, but the fact of the matter is that life insurance gets special tax treatment, different than any other vehicle out there.
And who should be buying insurance, life insurance?
I can tell you that when I was in 5th grade, it was career day at school. And my father was kind enough to come in and talk about what he did for a living. And one of the things that scarred me for life as a child was he sat down to the class and said, hi, I'm Sid Friedman and I sell love. So you can imagine in 5th grade being teased the way I was, your dad sells
So
love. But I never really understood it until I
Yeah.
was an adult. So in answer to your question, if you love somebody or somebody is dependent on you emotionally or financially in any way, there's nobody that doesn't need it.
Oh, wow. Well, so how do you?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
All right,
You do
go
it.
ahead. So what type of insurance should a person get? Is there a specific plan for each one? Or?
There's many different kinds, and
Okay.
it can get very confusing. And what I try to tell people is stay away from the gimmicks and the fads. There are a lot of different products out there. Some people say buy term, invest the difference. Some people say, oh, that whole life's too expensive. Everybody's situation is different. So there's not one universal product that's right for everybody. And in many cases, we actually do a combination of products for people because as your life goes on, your needs change and you need to have plans that are flexible and can change with you.
Absolutely.
Is the whole process, is it difficult to get life insurance?
It shouldn't be. Some of the things that can make it more difficult or more time consuming, the biggest thing would be how fast your doctors turn around their medical records.
Right.
And one of the things with many different advances that are going on with the medical and technology is the insurance company will actually check your medications and prescriptions.
Right.
So let's say you went to a doctor one time 3 years ago and he gave you the medicine, it was all fixed and you never had an issue with it again, but when they asked the questions 3 years later for your insurance, and you forgot.
Okay.
So remember, there's a person at the other end that's an underwriter looking at a file. They don't
Right.
know you. So they might say, well, if they left that out, what else would they maybe have left out?
Right.
And the more you can remember, the more you give them up front, the better it is.
Well, Lori, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
wow,
you so much for being here. I appreciate really good information.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank
me.
you
I
so
really
much.
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Life insurance, very important.
Well, still to come, do you believe in angels? Well, ahead you'll hear from an angel intuitive who is helping pass messages from past loved ones. Her story, When Healthy Lifestyle with Eraldo, returns. Well, welcome back. Our next guest has truly a special and unique gift. She helps those who have experienced loss receive messages from past loved ones.
Some may refer to her as a medium, but she is also known as an angel intuitive. Welcome, Colleen St. Michael.
Thank you.
Colleen,
Thank you so much for having me
How are
here.
you? Well,
I'm
thank you for
super.
being here.
Super excited. So what defines you and separates you from other mediums?
Because the work that I do is so much more than just natural mediumship of connecting messages to people. We have this beautiful network of angels and our loved ones supporting us on our soul's purpose and on our mission. So in a session, when we work with our clients, I say we because I'm using all my guides
Right.
all the time. I
Right.
travel with a group. And each and every session is so unique because it's all about healing. And it's about healing grief. And it's not just necessarily healing grief from a passing. It could be a grief of a marriage ending, a grief of a job, a grief of a dream, a grief of a hope, or whatever somebody has created in their purpose or their mind and their belief system. What the angels do is they help us to find the best part of us. And they do it lovingly and they do it supportingly. So I feel so blessed to be partnered to be able to be the conduit of those messages.
Well, when did you realize that you had this gift? How did that come to you?
You know, it's so bizarre because my whole life, my friends called me the profiler. Profiler. Because I would meet people, but I wouldn't understand why I was almost a chameleon to what they were feeling. I could just feel
Very intuitive.
Very intuitive, but it was being an empath. But it wasn't until I was 27 when I was walking through Barnes & Noble bookstore and literally a
Love that
book,
place.
I know, who doesn't? A book just flew off the shelf and landed at my feet. And I was raised
They
very...
literally flew off the shelf.
I was walking to take my daughter to change her diaper, so I had to walk past the metaphysical section going to the ladies' room.
Right.
And a book just whoop, shot right onto the floor, and I giggled. And I picked it up, and I was like, messages from your angels. And I was like, this is strange. And I was raised very strict Catholic. I've prayed my whole life. Faith has always been at the forefront of everything that I did. And I bought the book. And when I opened the pages when I got home, I found out who I was. Like, I absolutely connected with who I was. That I was a spirit being doing a human journey, having all these amazing experiences, and that I had this amazing ability to connect with angels, as we all do. It's a birthright. Intuition is a birthright to all of us.
Right.
But somehow you connected maybe more so than other people.
It's so cool because it's a muscle. It's just like you're
Right.
working on the physical
Well,
body.
they say we don't work all the areas, we don't use all the areas in our
Right.
brain, so
No,
maybe you're...
it's a spiritual muscle, and I just have a very developed spiritual muscle because it's
everyone
the
can
muscle
learn.
I use every day.
Everyone can learn how
Right.
to do it, but
We all
we
have
don't.
it. And how I explain to my clients who are like, oh, I'm never going to be like you, I can't do it. And I said, you can. I
Right.
didn't wake up in the morning and be like, hey, you've got this and you've got this.
Right.
It's something that I practice and I live this practice. But I tell my clients, you have to look at your spirit as a coffee table. And we all have coffee tables.
Yeah.
And when there's no magazines on the coffee table, we can see it very clearly. But yet, when there's magazines and they're scattered all around, we can't see the beauty in the coffee table. That's our spirit. When there's clutter sitting on top of our spirit, and that's
Right.
life obstacles, it's challenges, it's holding on to old beliefs and programs that don't work for us anymore, our spirit's clouded. We can't
need a
fully
clearing.
connect. It's so amazing because we're all able to do it so freely, and that's what I am so passionate about, is teaching
Really?
those tools to help everyone feel this good.
And people feel unstuck sometimes, right?
Oh my gosh, I call it pause because we have the choice to hit the button on or off.
Wow.
It's not stuck. Stuck is powerless. Stuck is being a victim of yourself.
Right.
When you push pause, it's because you're taking those few moments to just reflect. Sit with yourself and say, what is it that my heart really wants? Not what everybody else is expecting from me, but what is it my heart wants?
Okay.
And as soon as
Follow
you
your
make that connection, you just roll with it, and you're working on blind faith, and that's your fuel.
Wow,
Your
so-
gut instincts are usually right.
Right,
Oh my
right, right.
goodness, yeah, go with it. If you feel something, ask, what is this? What is it I'm feeling?
That's
Pay
right.
attention to your body, because it's the vessel that God gave us to hold our spirit, to hold our soul,
Right.
to give us our sensory.
We need to talk with her after
I
the
bet they're
show.
virtually done, right? So,
I got questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
very
thank
interesting.
you.
I
Thank
wish
you
we had
so
more
much.
time.
No,
But
this is
thank you
amazing.
so
Oh my
much.
gosh.
This is
Backstage.
amazing.
We'll see you in a minute.
Thanks again to all of my guests, and a special thank you to my co-host, Jacqueline Oida, for being here today. And thanks to all of you at home for watching. And make sure you tune in next time for another great show. And remember, take care of your body today, and it will take care of you tomorrow. Well, see you next time.